My name is Shapon Boiraggo. Basically, I am from Nodia district, which is located in the state West Bengal. Today, I am going to present a demonstration video through the PowerPoint presentation on the poem How to Tell Wild Animals. This is a beautiful poem which is included in CBSE syllabus for grade 10. So let's start here. This poem How to Tell Wild Animals is written by the female poet Caroline Wells. She is an American writer. Generally, she writes on mystery. She was born in the year 1862 and she died in 1942. In this poem, the poet has explained the characteristics of various wild animals in a very funny way. The poet has used language in a way that it generates humor. The poet is introducing the reader to various kinds of wild animals like Asian lion, Bengal tiger, bear, leopard, chameleon, and lizard. And the poet is also explaining each of the animals in a very humorous way. First of all, the poet tells us about an Asian lion. She says that if you are visiting the jungles of the east and there you see an animal which has tawny skin and he roars so loudly that you will die out of fear. This means that you have seen an Asian lion, and here the word tawny means yellow color or brown color, yellowish brown color, the word tawny means. Next in the line is the Bengal tiger that she has explained to be a royal animal that at once attacks and kills a man. She says by adding humor that if this beautiful black striped animal kills you and eats you, then you have surely met a Bengal tiger. After this, the poet says that if the reader met an animal that has black spotted skin and it at once immediately jumps on him, then it means that the reader has met a leopard. Moreover, the poet says that if one will cry out in pain, it may be of no use, as the leopard will not stop attacking him. Then she moves on to the bear that she says will hug very tightly. Thereafter, the poet moves on to the bear and she says that the bear will hug a person very tightly. She says that the bear will continue to hug us tightly, and that is the only way to recognize a bear. This is the way to recognize a bear, as it kills a person by hugging him very tightly. After this, she asked a question to the readers that do they know how to recognize beasts that hunt their prey? Here, the poet explains about hyenas, which she thinks that hyenas have a smiling face, and the crocodiles that have tears in their eyes. This can be seen when they are killing their prey. The last one in the list is the chameleon. She says that it is a lizard-like creature which does not have ears and wings, just like a lizard. Only this can help you differentiate between a lizard and a chameleon. She further says that the chameleon has a quality of changing its color according to the color of the surface. To explain this, she says that if the reader looks at the tree, and if he can only see the tree, this means that there is a chameleon sitting on it, which has already turned its color to brown, just like the branch of the tree. So this is the main central idea or explanation of the poem, how to tell wild animals. And here we will get some poetic devices, but before that I will say that the rhyme scheme of the poem. Here the rhyme scheme of the poem, we can see chance advance, that means AA, east beast BB, dine lion, that means CC. So in each stanza we can see this type of rhyme scheme: round ground AA, UU, BB, learn discern CC. Similarly in third stanza also view UAA, peppered leopard BB, pain again CC. Similarly in the next stanza, here also we can see the same rhyme scheme. In the next stanza, eared hard AA, there beer BB, guess caress CC. Similarly in the next stanza, pray may AA, non plus does BB, smiles crocodiles CC. Similarly in the last stanza, small all AA, thing wing BB, tree C CC. So we can say that the rhyme scheme of the poem, how to tell wild animals, the rhyme scheme is AB AB CC. This is the rhyme scheme of the poem. And here some poetic devices, like in the first stanza we can find the rhyme scheme, in the first stanza we can find the poetic device, that is inversion. We all know inversion is a poetic device where the format of a sentence is changed. So, and if there should you advance, in the third line, here the format of the sentence is changed. So this is inversion. And here personification is also applicable in another line, because here the poet has used he in place of it for the animal. In the last line, you will know it is the Asian lion. It. That means here the poet has used he in place of animal. For example, here, if he roars at you as you are dying. So here, this is the poetic device. In this poem, many poetic devices are used. For example, in this line, and if there should you advance. In this line, and if there should to you advance, in this line we can find inversion, because here the format of the sentence has been changed. Thereafter, we can find here personification also. If he roars at you as you are dying, here he is used in place of it to refer to animal. That's why personification is also applicable here. Similarly, in the second stanza, alliteration is applicable in roaming round, because the letter R is repeated. That's why alliteration is applicable here. Thereafter, the Bengal tiger to discern. Here, inversion is applicable. Thereafter, here also personification is applicable, because the poet has used he instead of it to refer to animal. Similarly, the third stanza, alliteration is applicable in the line he has, in the words he has, because here H, this letter is repeated, because you all know alliteration means the repetition of a letter at the start of closely placed words. Thereafter, we can see personification is also applicable here, because here also the poet has used he instead of it for the animal. Thereafter, in stanza 4, alliteration is applicable, because here W is repeated in the line when walking. Thereafter, here also personification is applicable, because the poet has used he instead of it for the animal. Thereafter, in stanza 5, there is also alliteration we can find. For example, novice non plus, n is repeated. Thereafter, tail from the hyena does, t is repeated. So here alliteration we can find. Thereafter, in stanza number 6, alliteration is applicable, because in the line he hasn't, H is repeated. Thereafter, consonance is also applicable here, because single wing, here prominent sound of the consonant G, the sound the consonant sound G, it is very prominent, clear. That's why consonance is also applicable here. And similarly, here personification is again applicable here, because the poet has used he instead of it for the animal. Okay, thank you.